I've just finished covering the summer's Test rugby in South Africa for television, and suddenly I find myself in a vastly different world, travelling deep into the rural Eastern Cape at the invitation of the Donald Woods Foundation. First thing that strikes me as I approach the project areas is the landscape. Rolling, grassy hills scattered with pastel-coloured homesteads. It's beautiful, but I've been told that this is one of the poorest areas in the country.
I've known about the Transkei and how beautiful it was, and I wanted to come here for different reasons for 20-odd years. So I'm very excited to see people individually now and see if you just get a feel for this whole place and its problems. But it's a little bit daunting as well, because it's like nowhere on earth as far as I've ever been, and the social interaction is going to be very different.
At the end of a long, bumpy ride, some hair-raising off-road driving, and my first meeting. This is a family situation all too common in these parts. 3 children, aged 1 to 6, orphaned by HIV, left in the care of elderly grandparents.
These are the maternal grandparents. Their daughter had just passed away, and these are the kids that they are left with.
Could you say, very sorry about the loss of your daughter?
Do
you like school?
Yes, Candy school.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
What do you like most about school?
You don't learn any time I play school.
What have you said?
They like it that time of the day when they're eating.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, yes. What does the grandfather think about the need for his grandchildren to go to school?
Education for him, he thinks education is very important. They never got an opportunity to go to school, and also in terms of getting jobs out there, you need to have a better education, and so they're really hoping that they would go to school.
The foundation is helping with applications for foster care grants for each child, but this is a long bureaucratic process which can take 2 years. Mr. Sekunu is blind, and until the children's grants come through, the whole family must survive on his disability allowance. I ask what would help the family.
If we could really get them to help them with the school uniform, because they hardly go to school warm, because it's just not warm enough for them to go to school. They don't have enough food. And this one again with asthma, he's the one who cries. He cries when he's hungry because he doesn't have enough food. They also mentioned that he haven't eaten anything this morning, so the kids did not take anything ever since this morning. So that's how desperate the situation is.
Okay, we're learning English as well as Kosa here. 1, 2. And 3, and go!
The Foundation's Orphans and Vulnerable Children programme is already buying school uniforms for the children, and in the coming months will be doing everything it can to support this family. But playing with this bright young man, I'm finding it hard to get out of my mind the fact that he hasn't eaten today. Worse still, the Foundation team has told me there are many families in the homes around me who are even poorer than this one.
What would he like to do when he leaves school?
Wants to be a teacher.
You want to be a teacher? That's a good thing to be.
As we say our goodbyes, I have mixed feelings. I know the Foundation has only just begun its work with the Sekunu family, but given the desperate situation here, I honestly wonder whether they can make any real impact on these children's future. And I'm also wondering if I'm really up to another meeting with a poverty-stricken, child-headed family. The Nompawu sisters, 7 orphans, the eldest now 19, who have been supported by the Foundation for the last 3 years.
We are living in this house, and 7 of us. On the 1st of January 2009, our mother passed away, and while we were still shocked by that, in June, then the father followed. he passed away, and they were left with a grandmother. And then a grandmother was involved in a car accident, and she also passed away, and so they were left alone with no parents.
The sisters tell me that it was the Donald Woods Foundation which secured foster care grants for them, which means they can now survive with 19-year-old Zuzeka and 17-year-old Zikona looking after the younger sisters. Already I'm impressed by this family. Despite their tragic history, these sisters seem relaxed, polite and friendly. The house is clean and they actually seem to have fun together.
What are the girls hoping for in life? Is there a job they would like to do? Is there a place they would like to go?
I want to be a doctor one day.
You want to be a doctor? So education is very important for you.
By Miss.
Just to be a teacher.
You want to be a teacher? That's great. We spoke to someone.
Like thousands of other orphans, the Nompau sisters have been visited every fortnight by the Donald Woods Foundation team to support them through many challenges over the last 3 years. Now, having assisted with health, education and finance, I'm about to see the foundation team address other important needs.
This is a box that they will use as a memory box within the family.
Yeah.
So all the memories, the good and the bad memories that they have, they will put it in this box. Because they're young and they've lost their parents, it's actually vital for them to then talk about what has happened. Mm. So the exercise that they are doing is called Important People in My Life.
At first, I'm unsure what's being achieved here, but gradually I realise the point. Naming all the important people in their lives and connecting them together on a tree with their parents, the girls can remind themselves that they're not alone.
These kids really seem to enjoy this.
They really do.
Look at this. This looks fantastic. Hey. Girls, what do you think? That's great. Thank you very much for sharing your tree of life. This has been exhilarating. I lost my father this year, and I think about him sometimes, and I've got to say, if I was a little bit younger, this tree of life is a fantastic way to understand what has been. They're full of life, it's full of humour. There's, as I said, there's real vitality here. These boxes are sacred things, they really are. And I think it's one of the most exhilarating hour or so I've ever spent in my life, and I don't say that loosely. We want to be educated one day. That's far more powerful than any piece of advertising. Series of hearts and an intelligent message from a lady who wants to be a doctor. Thank you.
It's been a thought-provoking and at times distressing day, but before I leave this young family, I get a glimpse of even more untapped talent and creativity. I've seen how the support of the foundation has made it possible for some of the region's children to create, in the direst of circumstances, a loving family life.
Take care. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
More than anything, I'm struck by how much all the children I've met want to learn, want to lift themselves out of poverty. Next on my tour, I'm keen to visit the Foundation's schools programme. What can it be like trying to get an education in this extremely beautiful yet extremely desperate region? "5 a.m. in the morning, and I'm finding out the hard way, stumbling down a steep African hillside in the pitch dark. We've had to leave the vehicle at the top of the hill as the road is too steep to negotiate without light.
There aren't snakes here, are there, at this time of year?
Children in this area often walk for hours to get to school, and I've decided to try to experience that firsthand. The young man who has agreed that I can walk to school with him lives so far from the road that it would be impossible to reach his home in the dark with our camera equipment intact. He's kindly agreed that we could start our journey from his aunt's home slightly closer to the road. Nkulaleko's school day has begun at 4:30 a.m.
What's his first lesson at school today?
Accounting.
Accounting. Does he like accountancy?
Where Italy accounting?
No.
No.
I don't blame him. It's a terrible thing.
There are perhaps 10 people asleep in this room, but in fact, Nkululeko is an orphan. Like the families I've already met, he and his brother have been surviving alone for many years. Every day, Nkululeko walks 7 kilometres to school. It's a daunting distance, but as we set off into a marvellously beautiful but rather cold South African sunrise, I find it hard to repress a feeling of excitement at the adventure.
It's a big hill. There's strong legs. Yeah, exactly, yes. It's all right for you. Some of us old ones, it's going to be a tough climb.
Nkululeko tells me he's 20 years old, even though he's in year 10 at school. I already know that being much older than your school year is not unusual in this region, and after half an hour of walking I begin to understand one of the reasons why. You just wouldn't want your 11 or 12-year-old doing this by themselves every day. Many children are kept at home till they are old enough to undertake these journeys safely by themselves. Others simply drop out altogether after primary school. A little further down the road, Nkululeko stops me in my tracks when he reveals that there is another reason he's so far behind academically.
Tell me about your brother. That's really interesting. Because the two of you are in school, but you're never in school in the same year.
We started together at school, but then because we cannot be at school, both of us, one has to support one another.
Okay.
And we decided to alternate, and this year is my turn to be at school. And my brother is doing a part-time job with a construction company that is building some houses here at Natjana.
So the big question is then, what ages will you and your brother be by the time that you finish schooling?
I'll be able to pass my grade 12 at the age of 25.
Let's go. Come on, my friend. Let's go.
Without an ounce of self-pity, this quiet-spoken young man has told me he's prepared to keep this up till he's 25 if that's what it takes to get an education. By now I've some idea of what doing this walk every day must feel like. It occurs to me that I didn't see Nkululeko have breakfast.
If our children had to walk 7.5 kilometres to school, there would be very few going.
Nearly 2 hours later, and we're there.
We made it. Yes!
As I watch morning assembly, I feel humbled to think how many of these young people make a journey like the one I've just made to come here every day. If they're willing to do so much for an education, what's being done to make sure they get the teaching they deserve?
By the Minister of Finance.
Donald Woods Foundation is helping local schools with essential infrastructure such as water supplies, food gardens and toilets. But with class sizes of 60 to 100 and no computers or libraries, these are desperately under-resourced schools trying to teach desperately poor pupils.
Taxes on.
With so many challenges, I can see immediately why the Foundation's priority is to support and develop each school's greatest asset, passionate teachers like Pam and Songwana, committed to helping pupils like Nkululeko.
The certain market. He doesn't talk much about his problem, and this usually touches me deeply because it's so hurtful that you know that there are learners who don't have anything to anybody to support them. They just depend on each other. The one becomes the parent while the other is the learner, and they swap that responsibility. It's only education that can take them out of this poverty. As an economics teacher, I usually tell them about a poverty cycle, how to break the poverty cycle. And I tell them that nobody will ever break poverty cycle without education.
So when I put it in...
Here at Ganazulu School this year, nearly half the staff has been enabled to attend the Foundation's teacher training camps. designed to help them update skills and exchange strategies. Apparently, the pupils are already seeing the benefit.
I can see there's much difference that is made by this Donald Wood Foundation. Teachers are always very enthusiastic about the camps. Whenever they come from the camp for the workshop, you'll find that they are taking everything with much enthusiasm. They are working politely and they know what to do. Yeah, because they have got skills, and as a result, our teachers are doing so well now. They are doing so well. We are expecting good results every time they come.
And you're getting the good results?
I'm hoping so.
By the end of my visit, I'd been on nothing less than a roller coaster of emotion. The sad-eyed beauty of the landscape, the courage of the people I've met, the grinding hardship and struggle of so many here. And around every corner, I bump into another group of laughing children.
Every time in this place, you just think it's too sad, it's too forlorn, it's too unforgiving. You hear the cry of children laughing. Sun is setting now, but you can just about hear it from there. You can't give up on this place.